9:01, I'm going to call this meeting to order. Okay. And I will take attendance. So we have Stephanie and Alita, we have Jan, myself, Debbie, and Karen Harvey. So that is 5 different towns for a quorum, and
Beautiful.
we are good to go. I don't think we have it. Do we have anybody from the public on that would like to talk?
No, we didn't get any requests for speaking
Okay.
before the board.
All right, so the next thing we need is a motion to approve the minutes from September 11th.
Motion made, Deborah.
Thanks, Deborah.
Second, Karen Harvey.
Second by Karen Harvey. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion passes. One of the things that we wanted to talk about too is that we need a motion to change the schedule. We'll still meet on the same dates. So the next meeting is June 11th, and then September 10th, and then December 10th. But we wanted. Oh, I'm so sorry.
5, 6, 2, 6, 1.
Sorry. Should take that phone out of here. Anyway, we want to change the meeting time to 1:30 in the afternoon because that works better for all the municipalities, the senior centers. So we would need to make a motion to change the time.
I'll make a motion, Deborah from Thomaston.
Okay, Deborah, second.
I will second. Karen.
Karen, okay. And any discussion about it?
Yeah, discussion, Betty.
Go ahead.
1:30 in the afternoon. Why 1:30 as opposed to not in the evening? I mean, was there a discussion on the times? And I understand about the senior centers, but that's midday.
That was what was suggested by Myra from Waterbury.
Yeah.
Because then it's still within the time frame that they're working, and it's past that rush of morning activities and lunch.
Okay. I'm not too thrilled about it, but I'll go along with it. I think that's
we'll
midday.
See how it works.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, if we could just document that, maybe look at it and evaluate it and see how it's working. If it's working fine, then good. But I'm not too thrilled about changing it to that time, but I'll go along with it for now.
Okay. Any other discussion?
Betty, would this be starting the next meeting?
Would be starting in June, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
I look at the list, so it's the June 11th, September 10th, and December 10th. Is that correct?
Yes.
September.
Okay. Well, I'm not absolutely nuts about doing it at 1:30 in the afternoon. It's sort of like, but I don't work, and I'm a senior citizen, and what I would be doing would probably be something at the senior center at that point. So it might. Well, we'll just have to play it by ear. We'll see how it all works out. I'm willing to give it a try. If it turns out to be not such a great idea, we can reevaluate.
Sounds good.
Betty, if I may, this is Karen again. Can we just notify the cities about the change, and also just to make a commitment to look at this, perhaps either at the next meeting or when's our next June, September, maybe September, I don't know. Yeah, September. That'll give it enough time and just see how that's working out, because that is midday.
Yeah, I think we need to all notify our town clerks of the change in time.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll need to send that off to the town clerks.
Betty, if I may, this is Joanna. Yeah, if you want to wait, keep keep the time at 10 a.m. for the rest of this year and then vote on it for next year, that's fine as well. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Oh,
As you said, the town clerks do have it on their schedules, on their official schedules, that it's at 10 a.m. So
right, right.
I just wanted to throw that option out there.
I think that's a good idea, Joanna, because we've already have it down. We're all planned for it, and then we
Right,
can
right.
start.
Okay.
If we change it. It's
I agree with
beginning of the year. Yeah.
I agree with that.
Okay.
Should
Then,
we should we rescind the motion then, Betty?
Yes.
Okay,
Please,
I could rescind that based on discussion.
Sounds good. But
And,
just to make sure it's documented, Betty, that we will look at this perhaps for 2025, 2026.
So, correct. And probably what we'll do is we'll put it on the agenda for December 10th.
Sounds
So
good.
that if we, we can start the first meeting in 2026, either at 10 o'clock or at 1:30.
Sounds good.
Okay, excellent, good, all right.
Betty, if I may, if you could just redo the motion for because we didn't have an official vote on all of the meeting dates at the December meeting. If you could just
Okay.
annul the meeting schedule to say, accepting the meeting schedule as amended for all dates being at 10 a.m. Something along those lines.
So moved?
Okay.
Second. Debbie, second.
Okay, great. All in favor of that?
Aye.
Aye.
Who
Aye.
moved,
Aye. Okay,
who moved it, please?
Betty,
Betty. Thank you,
yeah,
Betty.
sorry. Okay, so now we'll move on to the administrative items, Joanna.
Yes, let me get myself on camera. Great. Thank you again, everybody. So right now we're in a pretty good position with our expenses and our revenues. We're still waiting for funding from the municipal grant program from the state of Connecticut for the dial-a-ride services. So that's all in the network, and we have no reason to believe that funding is not going to be given this year. So that's what I've got right now. I'm not sure if Trish Bauer is on or not, but she might be able to answer some other questions. I think Trish is.
I'm
Trish.
here.
Okay. Hey, Trish, do you have anything that you wanted to add regarding the financial update?
No, I think we're in pretty good shape. I guess we probably should give some thought to some advertising items maybe for that dial-a-ride, since that's at least part of the money we get.
Right. Right.
But other than that, I don't have anything.
Great. Thanks, Trish.
The financial review came back totally clean, so.
Yeah.
Problems.
And I believe that Trish has been very good with forwarding to the auditor's report to the whole board. So I think that's all good. And that's all I've had. That's all we have, rather, for the financial update.
Okay, what about the
Anybody have a question?
ridership?
Yeah. Any questions?
Oh, no, sorry.
I have a question, but I'm going to wait until open discussion regarding the finances. Okay, so I'll wait for that. This is Karen.
Okay. Okay, Betty, we can move to the next one if you're ready.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry, I'm just waiting for you to just do it.
Okay. All right. So I've broken up this ridership report into dial-a-ride and non-ADA. So I just wanted to focus on the dial-a-ride. So what I just want to also point out, this dial-a-ride graph includes February. Your meeting packet does not include February. I was not able to include it into the report before that I sent out the packets last week. or rather Trish, our kind administrator Trish did it. Both Trishes. So as you can see with the dial-a-ride, generally we have more call for this service over last year. February kind of dipped a little bit, but in general, there's more call for the dial-a-ride. And when we look at the non-ADA ridership, this is outside that 3/4 of a mile zone that we also have funding for, and that there's the towns provide a match for the fares. That's generally been less than last year. And I'm not really sure why. I would like to think maybe perhaps the weather, or, more people have been wanting to stay, hunkered down, as I don't blame that they would. But that's, and again, this includes February, and which reflects that less ridership trend with non-ADA. So that's what I've got for the ridership report. I'm happy to answer some questions.
No
When I-
questions.
When I read those reports, I'm kind of confused.
Okay. How can I help?
I see a lot of, what am I gonna call it? Probably very clear to the person who's setting it up, but there are a lot of little code words or little things that are supposed to mean something that don't mean a darn thing to me.
Okay. Well, what can I help with?
That's what I'm turning my back to you because I'm trying to.
It's okay. You do what you got to do to organize your thoughts.
Well, I had printed out one of those reports, but I did not. And this is going to take too long and so forth, I think. But there are I can understand, deadheads, and I can understand the change, the days of the week and so forth. That's
Mhm.
okay. Well, I'm just gonna lay it out, let that lay. It doesn't matter that much, I guess, as long as.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I hear you. It can be very confusing. What you're talking about? What's been forwarded from Maria
Yes.
Vaccarelli? Yeah.
Yeah.
What happens is I take all that information and I dilute it to what you see on the screen, which is really, in the end, that's the most important thing with ridership. In the end, what is it that we're being billed for? That's usually it. I say usually. That is it.
All right. Okay, I guess my one question maybe then is, are we, I know we're not necessarily making a profit here, but are we
No.
breaking even with
Yes.
expenses?
So far, yes. So most the municipal grant program funding, which funds the dial-a-ride, whatever NET bills to the Greater Waterbury Transit District, it goes directly to NET for their services and for the administrative costs. The non-ADA ridership, that's matched by the municipalities, and the match is based on the previous year's ridership. So right now, ridership is less than. I know I'm not sounding very clear at this moment, but just know that we're not keeping, as Greater Waterbury Transit District, we don't keep those funds. The only thing that we're being paid for that we haven't spent, and if we do spend it, we ask for the approval, and that's the oh my gosh, the advertising and other incidental items. But as far as I know, we've got enough carryover to handle those costs. So you're right. We're not making a profit on any of this. We're more or less just managing what we have and making sure that that each town is represented with, hey, we need more service or less service, or we want to be part of this or we don't want to be part of this. And I just want to add that as a transit district, the Greater Waterbury Transit District is not similar to other transit districts in the state, in that it's Connecticut DOT that is really managing a lot of the services. So, that's what's really different about the Greater Waterbury Transit District, and might be a little confusing. But listen, Alita, I'm happy to after the meeting go over with you a lot of those numbers that you see in those reports. You're right; it can be daunting and it looks confusing. But I would like to help you understand.
Thanks.
Mhm.
This is Karen. I
Yes,
just like to hi. I am really surprised by the decrease of ridership. I think I'm non-ADA, and I don't ride with the other. I'm trying to think. What is it called? The
dial-a-ride.
The dial-a-ride. I don't do that. But think there's an increase. I'm just really surprised because it's difficult. For example, I'm just going to use this as an example. When I want to reserve the van for Saturdays, I have to do so 2 weeks in advance. And then if I do anything underneath that, it's they do a good job. I'm not saying that they don't do a good job, but it's questionable. So I just, to me, that's an indication that there's more of a demand for the non-ADA, and I'm just really surprised by the numbers. But it's just a statement. It's just I see it. I see what's going on Saturdays and what I need to do in order to make sure that I'm able to use the van on the weekends. So I'm just surprised by that. Just a statement.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. It's definitely a service that can be better. Could be improved.
Yes.
Any other questions for Joanna on the data? Okay, then we could move on to our discussion about the budget.
Yeah. Thank you again, Betty. So what I wanted usually at this meeting is when we look at the budget for the coming fiscal year, which begins July 1st. And we look at what are the anticipated matches, the anticipated municipal grant funds that will be applying through for the Greater Waterbury Transit District from the state of Connecticut. One of the things I wanted to mention is that, and this is in tandem with our review of the bylaws, we've asked our NVCOG attorney to review the bylaws. And in the process of reviewing these bylaws, which we'll give an update at a future meeting, the attorney pointed out that, hey, there's Connecticut general statutes that need to be followed regarding budget adoption. And it's outlined in, let me see here, 7-273F. And this is part of the transit district language, Connecticut general statutes. And in that, he was outlining a process where you need to do a public hearing. And I'm in the process of trying to, get confirmation from the attorney on the process. I spoke with him last week, but I asked him to put it in an email for, Betty's and everybody on the board's understanding of the whole process, and in a language that's not just legalese, but maybe a little bit more for non-legal experts. So that's happening right now. What I anticipate is that for the budget, we will have a special meeting called in the ensuing months, just to have this public hearing portion, then to have a motion on adoption, and then on top of that, we need to advertise the budget in a locally distributed high volume newspaper for 2 to 4 weeks before we actually deal with appropriations. I'm not by any means a financial expert, but I'm learning as I'm going along. So that's really what this is all about. And that's why I wanted to let you guys know, that's why you're not seeing a budget today. I just wanted to make sure I was clear on the process before we move forward as a group.
Joanne,
Yes.
haven't done the budget for Naugatuck for a while. I don't know
Yeah.
about the 2 to 4 week thing. You got to put it in ahead of the public hearing, of course, but I believe it's only 1 week.
And you know something, I'm going to thank you, Jan. I appreciate it. I've heard so many different things from people I respect their opinions. That's why
the attorney's got to get a hold of the actual
exactly. Yeah.
statute.
And
I think it's only 1 week because you got to pay for that. I'm pretty sure.
I know, right? It gets expensive.
Yeah.
So, and you pay by the
an
word.
obituary now costs $400 for crying out loud. So.
I know. And until the statutes change, I think we're going to just have to eat it up, so to speak.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but again, thank you. Yeah, I know that there's all kinds of information out there, which, and again, this is applying to the transit districts. So maybe there are some different statutes for the municipal budget. I'm not sure. So again, I'm waiting to get that email from the attorney, and so I can share it with everybody so everyone's on the same page.
Joanna, it's Mary from Town of Wilkett. Find out if we can be posting that on our websites, because a few years ago when the state forced everybody or most towns to get a website, so that would get to everybody in their towns. So see if that's something we can just post on our websites.
Okay. Yeah, no. If that's what we can do, I will give it to all the Greater Waterbury Transit District members.
Right, I know also, like the Town of Wilkett, we have Wilkett Community News that goes to every household in the town. So I mean, that's something we can also either post or give them the link if there's a place that we can put it online. So
absolutely.
We don't have to pay.
Yeah, I would appreciate your help. Thank you.
All right, no problem.
Great idea. Okay. Any questions for Joanna on that? Okay, then let's move to Northeast Transportation update. Is Maria on? I'm not seeing her. 2, 4, 6, 10. No, she's not up, but she did send them out. She sent the updates out to us. All right, so we will move on to the discussion about the 5310 grant program.
Yeah, so thank you again, Betty. So I just wanted to remind people, because I know there's a lot of senior center directors on the call. NVCOG can help with your applications. This is something that happens about every year. And, again, I just want to, the actual applications are due April 1st. If you are applying for a traditional capital, that newspaper advertising that you're going for this grant needs to happen by this Friday, March 14th. So I just wanted to do a friendly reminder. And, if the NVCOG, we're available, the staff, to look over your application to make sure that it's complete. So that's all I had on that. And I'm happy to answer some questions if you have any.
This is Karen from Waterbury. I'm holding on to this question, but I'm just going to ask it. How much of this grant is federally funded?
80%. Well, it depends. I say that for the vehicles, for the capital part.
Got it.
If it's for operating, it's 50%. And can you see my screen? I think
I can see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can
so
see
right
it.
here where it says federal share, 80%.
Yes. Okay. Oh, I see.
When I
Okay.
say capital, I mean things like buying buses, putting
Mm.
in wheelchair ramps and lifts and things like that.
So are we concerned about that?
No, we're not concerned. I wanted to make sure that people, every year there's a different
Yeah.
amount of money that gets put into this fund. And
Okay.
I just want to make sure that people who want to go after it are, have their I's dotted and their T's
Okay.
crossed. And because we want everyone who applies through the Naugatuck Valley Council of Governments to be able to get their grants. We want as many people as possible to get their grants. Because this is
Understood.
a great
Thank you.
service. This is we need this service for all
Yeah.
of our, as you know,
Oh, yeah.
Karen.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
So that was, I just wanted to do an FYI. That's all.
All right.
Great.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Joanna on that? Okay, so we can move to open discussion.
All right. If I may, this is Karen from Waterbury.
Sure.
While it's on my mind, I just wanted to, because, I was not on the meeting. We didn't have a meeting in December, correct? Did we meet in
Well,
December?
we got together. We didn't have an unofficial meeting, correct?
All right. All right. Sorry. Yeah. All right. And I'm sorry that Maria's not on, but wanted to get an update on the electric vans and what the status is on that. I had the opportunity to ride in one. I think it was in November of last year. It was, I thought they were nice, but I thought they were small. And I just want to get an update as to where we stood or where we stand on the purchase of the electric vans. I don't know if we can get that or if anyone knows about it. Betty.
I don't have any information on that.
All right.
Maybe you can probably just send an email to Maria and ask her.
All right. I will do that.
Yeah,
And go
and
ahead.
Karen, I can also help follow up with that because that's something that our staff should be doing anyway.
I understand. Thank you. One other thing that I wanted to just talk about is again, I ride the vans, and one enhancement which I think is great is that once you schedule your ride, you receive a 10-minute notification on your. I receive it on my cell phone that tells me that the van is scheduled to arrive at a certain time, and for me, that's good because it tells me, okay, well, I'm confirmed for the ride. Secondly, that it's on its way, so that kind of alerts me that I better be, just to be ready. So I just kind of like that enhancement. For I'm not sure if that's for dollar ride or not, but that's the non-ADA. And then lastly, I'm just concerned with what I'm hearing in the news about federal funding and diversity, equity, and inclusion, and things related to funding for handicapped, etc. And I'm just wondering how that affects us, if it affects us, and if it affects us, what we're doing to plan ahead.
Betty, I can take a
Please
stab
do.
at this.
That was a
So-
loaded question, Karen.
No, and it's top of mind for a lot
Yeah.
of people, and
Mhm.
I don't. We're wondering about it ourselves.
Okay.
But how we're proceeding is that we haven't heard anything official, and this is a program that benefits so many different towns and our state right now.
Mhm.
So we have no reason to believe that it's going to be changing anytime soon. When I say
Okay.
anytime soon, in the next couple of years. So right now we're just moving ahead. This is as if we are allegiant to the people who use this service. So
Okay.
and that's a varied group of people. It changes. Who we don't make we don't discriminate on who's using the service for particular people. So we're not changing anything like that. Don't worry
Okay.
about that.
Okay. Okay.
It's a wait and see right now. It's a wait and see, quite honestly. And we're just proceeding as if, as we've always done in the past, because this is a service for everybody, not just one particular group of people.
Well, I'll just say this: we know where we stand on it, but we know what we're hearing in the news in regards to different groups. And I mean, I was on the Board of Education for 16 years. We had funding that was just eliminated related to some of our special ed kids, and that's of concern. And this stuff is happening very quickly. So. I'm just saying this to say that I hope that we stay on top of it, because this service is much needed. I know I use it almost 85% of the time to get around, and there are others. I feel very fortunate that I can, purchase the tickets, and don't have any concern about that. But there are others that it's of concern. We have people on dialysis, etc., that use this service, and it's important that we get them to their appointments, etc., pick them up, etc. So I just think we need to keep stay on top of it, and just make sure that the funding is there, get to our legislators in the state, etc., that they're aware of this, and I'm sure they are, but I just figure I would mention this.
And that's something that the NVCOG, the directors,
Okay.
the executive director we're talking about this all the time.
Okay.
Full disclosure, I'm not a director, but my boss and they're talking about it all the time, and it's part of our mission statement to provide multimodal, safe, effective, meaningful transportation options, and that's not just about cars, but it's about public transit and paratransit, like what this group works with. So just know that that's part of our mission of our organization, the Naugatuck Valley Council, rather I should say the Municipal Planning Organization, but also the NVCOG in general is devoted to this kind of work.
Very good. Thank you very much.
One thing I wanted to bring up is that the Connecticut DOT has an active transportation micro grant program, which offers small grants up to like $5,000 to communities, schools, and organizations, including health districts. And what they do is they fund projects that encourage walking, biking, improve safety, and foster awareness around active transportation. So an example would be like getting bike racks or safety education for the town,
or helmets.
Yeah, or helmets. Yeah. So when we can send out this link if anybody wants to apply for it. The deadline is March 28th. But
Betty, if I could just interject.
Okay.
NVCOG staff is ready to help. And the reason we just want the word out, because this is an easy little grant that can make a big impact for smaller communities. So again, senior centers, health districts, schools, their school districts are eligible for this. So we just want to get more of the word out and helping our communities.
And we've had a couple go through already, little ones, for different bike helmets and things like that.
Yeah.
I think one of them was the YWCA or the YMCA somewhere. So
great.
It did turn around very quickly.
Good. Okay. All right. Anything else anybody wants to talk about? Okay. Then we would need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. This is Karen.
And I, Alita, will second that.
Okay. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Thanks for coming, everybody. It's a good meeting. We got some good information, and we'll look forward to hearing anything that's going on that Joanne gets to us from the lawyers.
Good.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody. I
day,
appreciate
everybody.
you being on this
Care,
call.
everybody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
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 Bye.